of the Dr. Zola Skweyiya funeral. We are still at the family home, but as you mentioned there is some activities as some of the families and friends that were gathered here this morning are starting to depart for the church where the official service will be taking place from 8:30 this morning. But I do have with me a man that had worked very closely with Dr. Skweyiya, especially when they were there at social development, the department that has been credited for turning around and strengthening its system. And I do have Advocate Vusi Madonsela. Thank you very much for your time. Of course, you worked very closely with Dr. Skweyiya there at social development. Just talk to us about working with him and why is it that he was able to turn around and strengthen the systems there and just really make that department one that actually cares for the people.
Dr. Skweyiya was a very humble man who had his heart in the right place. He epitomized the social conscience of government in that he cared for the poor very deeply. He is one minister who spent less time in the office and went out into the field to meet with people, to look at the conditions under which they lived. And more often than not, he reached out sometimes into his own pocket to help those that the system couldn't assist at that time. And those who could be included in the system, he made sure that they were in fact included in the system to provide for them.
All right, now obviously you've been here from day one. I remember last week when the news broke out, we met here. Just talk to us about what's the mood like here. You were here also yesterday when the remains of Dr. Skweyiya made their last return at home. Just talk to us about what's the mood.
The mood is naturally somber in that we are seeing him for the last time today. A man we've spent a lot of time with. A man who brings up very fond memories in our minds. We now know that this is the last stretch as we proceed to church, after which we will proceed to the cemetery. So naturally the mood is a very somber one. But in a very strange way, there is also an element of celebration when we look back at the achievements he's made, the kind of changes he's brought about in the lives of many South Africans. We believe that he continues to live in the minds and hearts of many South Africans.
Thank you very much, Advocate. Well, you heard it, a somber mood, but still there is a celebration of his legacy, his contribution, not only for the ANC, but for the rest of the country. You know, he was involved in the liberation struggle, so this is somebody that contributed and sacrificed a lot. And of course, as you can see, that the family members are starting to come out now as they prepare for the remains to make their last departure from his family home here in Pretoria East to that Christian Revival Church for the service that will be starting at 8:30 this morning. The speakers there are expected to include ANC heavyweights such as Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, who we just spoke to now, and Paulo Jordan as well. And of course, the president will be giving that main eulogy, and we will be there to capture it. So stay tuned on SABC News and Morning Live for more updates on this Dr. Zola Skweyiya official funeral.
Ngezi phiti phiti zethu